there's a way to make an entrance.
This is my destiny.
It was now a conspiracy of witches.
Download Veely today.
Tonight on the House of Tiny Tearaways.
You worry that he's going to one day turn around to you and say, this isn't for me, it's too tough, I'm going?
Yeah?
When you're with your son, the way he looks at you, he couldn't love you any more than he does.
2 days have passed and only 4 days remain. Tanya has started to get to the root of the family's problems, but is there enough time for her to help sort them out? The Taylor family, the Bogues and the Larkin Smiths have all arrived in the house, desperate for the psychologist Dr.Tanya Byron to help them tackle their children's extreme problems.
I have to help the families think their way through the emotional problems and start to make some real practical changes, because after all, that's what they're here for.
The house itself has been built under the supervision of childcare experts to ensure it is both a fun and safe place for the children. With just 6 days, all the families are hoping that Tanya can turn their lives around for good in the House of Tiny Tearaways. It's 6:30 a.m. on the family's third day. In the Larkin Smiths family room, Dad Larry and 2.5-year-old twin Delphi are awake. Mum Sarah and daughter Rebecca are asleep.
Don't let Mum sleep, Dad. Don't let Mum sleep. Yeah, I feel like that
62-year-old
too.
Larry
Come
and
on.
28-year-old Sarah came into the house with their twin daughters, Delphi and Rebecca. They were concerned by the girls' constant fighting, but were more worried by their poor sleep patterns.
Thought you were
Once
going
in
to
the
lose your
house,
baby.
Tanya discovered that there had been
and it's
some
still
terrible
the worst
problems
moment
around the
of your
birth of the twins.
One of them got very, very sick. We nearly lost Delphi.
Yesterday, Tanya talked them through a more structured bedtime routine, and within 20 minutes and a total of 15 returns, both girls were sound asleep. In the early hours of the morning, both girls woke, but following Tanya's advice, Sarah continually returned their daughters as soon as they left their bed. For epileptic Sarah, this gap in her own sleep could have a severe impact on her chances of having a fit. 37 minutes later and the girls finally settled, but Sarah's decided to sleep closer to the girls on the floor, leaving Larry with the bed all to himself. The Larkin Smith family arrived with the two gorgeous little girls, Rebecca and Delphi, with quite a major sleep problem. Yesterday was the first night that you tackled it, as it were. How did it go?
It went really well in parts. The key and most important thing was that both the girls went to sleep with no one in the room. You must let your child go to sleep on their own. Do not let your child go to sleep when you're there and then leave. In the night, however, it all went a bit pear-shaped, and to the point that the rapid returns were getting so rapid that Sarah then slept in different parts of the room and not in bed with Larry. She then had the two girls saying that they'd hurt their arm, they needed their nappy changing, good little ploys, and so then there was nappy change, cuddles, and so it went straight back into lots and lots of attention. So tonight, that bit's got to be much sleeker, much more hardcore, no attention, straight back to bed. I am concerned about Sarah's lack of sleep. Yeah. We did a sleep deprivation test yesterday and she is sleep deprived. So that's not a fantasy, that's a reality. Here is a woman who has, at one point in her life, had 21 epileptic fits in a week. I don't want her to have a fit in this house while we are sleep training the children. She's not a single mum. There is a partner, there is a father. I want her to sleep well tonight, because if she lets Larry do it but she's in the bed, she'll be awake all night. There's something going on, and it's something about Sarah reluctant to let go of this whole routine for herself? Is it because she can't separate from the girls and she's worried about leaving them at night, worried about them being upset because of the early health problems, the near death of one of the twins and so on? Or is it something to do with her and Larry? I suspect it's the latter.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah,
The
I'll
both
just put her
family
there.
are already up, and
A little
Mum
bit of
Amanda and
butter
Dad Morton are preparing breakfast, while sons Rowan and Dylan let off steam in the living area. Amanda and Morton Bogue have 3 boisterous sons. Dylan, the eldest, who has mild autism, Rowan, whose behaviour is causing the biggest problems in the family, and Arlen, the youngest, who is beginning to copy Rowan's
Praise our behaviour, and it just
Since arriving
reinforces
in
the
house,
belief that
Tanya's
actually, do you
become
know what,
aware
we
that
are
the
pretty
couple's
rubbish.
over-policing of their children is a major part of their problems, and has been encouraging them to take a more relaxed approach.
No. No. No.
As the row between Rowan and Dylan builds, Amanda and Morton are following Tanya's advice and ignoring it.
What's your cup of tea for? Careful, Rowan. No biting.
Unusually, the scrap has lasted only 2 minutes.
Come on, boys at the table. Brekkie time.
What are your plans for the Bogue family today, then?
I still don't quite know where I am with the Bogue family. 2 consultations with them yesterday, one earlier on in the day, one at the end of the day, really talking about them as individuals, as parents, their relationship, the sort of family atmosphere, the emotional atmosphere in the family, and Rowan. And I sort of feel that I'm connecting well with Morton, and I think the big headline from yesterday's consultation is Rowan is Morton's mini-me, but not in a good way. I think he is terrified that his little tiny son, who isn't even 3, is going to go down the same road, because he sees anger in Rowan that he really gets within himself. However, what we do need is much more non-verbal communication with these children. So I'm going to have a very interesting non-verbal communication game in the garden for Morton and the boys. It's going to be fun, and just to kind of big up how he communicates with his boys. He's very good at the no, blank face, but we want lots more fun.
This and
While Rebecca and
everywhere.
Delphi Larkin-Smith are looked after by the Bogue
Oh, I don't
family,
think that'll go in.
Sarah
Can we
and Larry have their first consultation of the day.
It's very, very interesting what happened last night.
Oh my goodness, isn't she a star?
Well, yes, you are a star.
But
But
it was wrong.
oh
Yeah?
no,
No.
no,
Okay.
no.
we were slightly worried about.
They were checking me. They kept saying they needed a change of nappy. Doing it that way to get me to
They're
stay.
clever girls, I think. We're going to have to. They're trying to outfox us. I think
are.
they know there's a cunning plan
I
going on
couldn't
in this
leave that
house.
one every time in case it was.
Now, the question I need to ask you is, who's going to do it tonight? Because if you have another night like that, I'm worried about you in terms of fitting. The fact that you have the capacity to have really huge fits that can induce a black eye and possibly worse, much, much worse.
No, I'd still feel better doing it.
Well, we were both awake, obviously, through the whole thing.
I know I'd still be awake and sitting up if he was doing it.
I mean,
So
I
don't
don't mind
see
doing
the-
it, honestly.
The
I
other
really,
option,
yeah.
you know, just to throw another thought in, is I could make a bed up for you in the quiet room. You could just not sleep at all in your room tonight. You could sleep in the quiet room, just have a whole night of sleep, and then Larry can just
Leave it to me.
get on with it. So we just move you out for the night, so you can get some sleep back. What is the worry? That you're abandoning your children? That your
I don't know.
husband
I don't
isn't
know.
going to be good enough?
I don't know.
It's freaked you, hasn't it?
Just-
Oh,
go
you've
with
gone
it.
all a bit anxious.
My problem, probably more than anything, is that you're gonna
Freak.
freak out. Yeah.
Why do you worry about that? Is it likely to happen? Has it happened before?
No.
I am absolutely fine with giving it a go. I mean, I
just know he's taken to fatherhood late on, and I just know everything isn't exactly as it is. You know, we're not the same age and stuff, and I want everything to be all right, and I just worry all the time.
About what?
Everything.
About what?
I don't know.
Larry will one day turn around and say to you, "This isn't for me, it's too tough, I'm going."
I don't know.
Do you worry about that?
Yeah.
You worry that he's going to one day turn around to you and say, "Do you know what?"
Not that he'll go, but no.
darling, you know, I think we've done pretty well so far. We deal with stuff. We just do it.
Yeah.
Do it, darling. We do it. You know, we dealt with it last night. You were brilliant, just going in and out and just being a lot more.
I know.
When you were a child, in terms of your own experiences, tell me a little bit about your father.
He died when I was 2.
Your father died when you were 2.
Yeah.
Having that awareness, I'm wondering whether there's quite a lot of the anxiety that you have and the emotion that you have and what you're putting into Larry and saying Larry might leave or Larry might not be happy, that it's less about Larry, it's less about your marriage, it's more about your history. And when we talk about the girls having separation problems and people dying and your girls nearly dying after they were born, I think this is all huge for you. And I can see it's huge for you, and I'm wondering whether it would help if we had a discussion about it at some stage this week. What do you think?
I totally agree.
Right.
I think you two should get together for a mini chat.
Mid-morning, and Mum Kim and her children, Connie and Letitia, are sitting at the
Letitia.
dining table.
Connor needs to put them in his book. Do you want? I know. We can glue them and you can pass them to Connor to stick in. Yeah? Yeah? You pass it to Connor. That one.
Kim Taylor has sought Tanya's help to deal with the extreme behaviour of daughter Letitia, who has violent tantrums and craves her mother's attention. Yesterday, Kim revealed her difficulty in bonding with Letitia, so Tanya has asked Kim to be more positive
good girl.
in their mother-daughter relationship.
2 minutes. I've got some more gluing to do. Just wait a minute. Letitia can glue them.
That's laziness.
You want to glue and I'll stick them in?
How is Kim Taylor doing?
She's doing fantastically. She has had 2 consultations with me, and yet she has taken and thought about everything that we've discussed. And already we are seeing such a difference in the relationship she has with Letitia. Letitia, for me, is a very good example of how a child is intrinsically hooked into their mother's mood state. And I think for Letitia, her mother is happier and more relaxed than she's ever been, in Letitia's life certainly. And I think what we're seeing then is a happier, more relaxed child, because she doesn't have to worry about her mum so much.
We're seeing this and tickling and real sort of intimacy.
It's incredible. I think Kim is an inspirational woman. She doesn't get that at the moment, but I think anybody who's watching her as we are does. I mean, one minute you are welling up with tears for her, the next minute you want to throw your arms around her, the next minute you just want to give her a massive high five and say, "You are so cool." Yeah. She is just, look at her. I mean, now, here we see her, she is attending to her child. There's a lot of work still to do. That face doesn't move very much.
Yeah.
It really doesn't move very much at all.
Why should a parent's face move?
Non-verbal communication is very much an important developmental stage in the communication of a parent and a child. When you hold your newly born infant in your arms, who doesn't know the words hello, goodbye, mummy, daddy, they don't even recognise that they're separate from you. What your eyes are telling them, what your mouth and face is telling them, is everything in their world. It's the concern, it's the love, it's the question, it's the surprise, it's the smile. That needs to happen more with Letitia. Letitia herself can have a fairly expressionless face. She's either nothing, cross, or smiling. So for this whole family, you just want to get more of a palette of emotions on their face.
Each of the families in the House of Tiny Tearaways gets to go on an outing.
Yeah.
Today is
Put
the
your coat
turn
on.
of the Larkin Smiths.
Which one?
Darling, where are those biscuits? Any biscuits?
You want the biscuit?
Well, I'm starving, yeah.
Well, I'll get you one.
think you might have to do the night shift.
Connor!
This is not raining anyway.
God, thanks, Dolly.
Hello. Ready? Yeah. Ready? Ready?
Yep.
Hello, boys.
Where is everybody?
Hello. Right.
Hang on, darling. Dad's just going to have a quick drink. A quick gin and tonic.
Come on, Delphi.
Whenever I eat a biscuit...
Delphi, come on. We're going out. Yeah.
In fact, there'll probably be some water in the car.
You're going to go out?
Damn Larkin Smiths.
See some animals?
See you later. Have a nice time.
Oh, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
See you, bye. Bye.
Where's it going?
It's going out for the day.
Bye-bye. Have a good day. Bye, Daddy.
It's lunchtime and the Bogue family are at the dining table.
Right, should Mummy put that down then if you don't want it? Do you want me to put it back in the kitchen? Or should we put it somewhere safe on the table?
No.
Okay, when you're ready to drink it, Rowan. Right, okay. Rowan, do you want the juice? Do you want the juice?
Yeah.
Or if you don't want it, there it is then. Okay. Mummy will get her dinner too now. Right.
Rowan's tantrum has been going on for 10 minutes and Amanda is trying to calm him down in the living room.
Wanna just go and sit somewhere quietly, Mummy, leave you in peace? Mummy, go and leave you in peace? Alright, you do it in your time. Okay, you do it in your time.
Rowan has moved to the corridor and Dad Morton is on hand.
Rowan, Daddy'll do it. Daddy'll do it. No. Right, bye-bye.
Mommy's at the table when you want.
Just came running down after and I came down once and I tried to get mom because,
It's we can see teddy bears, red ones and blue ones, and I can see an aeroplane. And what else can Mummy see? I can see a Nina fire engine. Isn't that brilliant? And it's got 2 ladders on so the firemen could climb up to the fire. Can Mummy have a big cuddle now? Because I'd really like a big cuddle off my big boy. No. Has the badness gone? Has it all gone away? Are you feeling all happy in there again? Okay.
The Taylors, Kim, Letitia and Connor are in the living room. Over the past 3 days, Tanya has been working with Kim on her emotional bond with her daughter.
You know, we were talking about the fact that maybe the lack of the early bond is something to do with what's going on. I'd quite like for you to, every 20 minutes or so, to put Letitia on your lap and hold her like she's a baby and kind of rock her and do a lot of that sort of interaction stuff.
Yeah.
Because I think she's missed that. Can you come here a minute?
Go on then.
Can you come here?
I'm going to sit here next to you.
Oh, sit on Mummy's lap. Sit on Mummy's lap or sit on my lap? on
Sit on Mummy's knee.
Mummy's lap.
Are you coming?
Oh no, we're gonna just.
You're just going to be shy.
We're tired. We're tired. You just pick her up and kind of give her a big cuddle. Say, I'm gonna give you a big cuddle.
Come on then. Come and get a cuddle.
Big cuddle.
Big cuddle.
Big cuddle. Hey. Are you not smiling? That's it. I mean, this is very unusual for her because you've never really held her like this, and she's a big girl to do it.
Yeah.
But now you can make really great eye contact with her, and you can do the kind of don't smile, don't smile, and lots of eye contact and tickling. And if she makes a noise, you mimic her. Lots of no. And I think this is what we need. A lot of this. A lot of hold, cuddle. Looking, tickling. Totally right.
You can't get me.
What?
You can't get me.
The only place you're safe is on your mother's lap.
No, you're not.
I'm not going to get you. Okay, I won't get you then. Oh, darling. Sweetheart. That was a big trip over, baby girl. Here we go. Oh, baby girl. There you go.
Oh, dear.
That's it.
Mummy can't sing. Mummy can't sing.
Yeah. Hey, boys!
Tanya wants to
What's
see
this?
Morton being more emotionally
here?
expressive towards
Come
his
and
sons,
see.
Dylan,
Goodness
Rowan
me.
and Olive.
Coming.
So she's
Whoopsie.
devised an activity to help him
Crikey.
understand
Come
the
and have a look.
importance
What
of
have we got
non-verbal
here?
communication.
See all these smiley faces.
He's
The
probably the
activity
least
will require
gonna.
the boys to run to the appropriate picture
Okay,
that
now
matches the face
this
their
is
dad
about
makes.
this is about non-verbal communication. This is about a face showing how it's feeling. A face saying, "I feel cross, I feel scared, I feel sad, I feel happy, I feel surprised." It's about children picking up cues very quickly without the need maybe to be held or taken away or timed out. So it's about communicating really effectively to a child very quickly. You know what, Mummy's just so not interested in this, or you know what, Daddy's really pleased with what you've just done, like this. We had a conversation yesterday about the fact that you've been feeling pretty low for a while. I can see that a lot on your face, but that is lovely.
Down.
And I think the boys need to see a bit more of that. What do you think?
I agree.
The first task is to get them over by making you the most exciting thing in this garden.
Rowan! Come here. Look. Want to play a game?
Amanda, maybe you go
Okay.
and stand next. That's it. If we all face the swings to begin.
Want to play a game? What we're going to do is Daddy's going to make a face, and then you have to run. See all the faces on the ground? You have to run and stand on the same face, okay? When Daddy blows his whistle, okay?
What face is that one, do you think?
It's Daddy.
That's Daddy's face, is it?
Thank you.
That's interesting, isn't it? Okay, so this is about helping them see Daddy be that face. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
You ready?
Look at Daddy's
face. What's Daddy? What do you think Daddy
Which one is it?
Should we go and have a look? What face do you think? Is he surprised? No. What about this one? Does that look like Daddy's face? Can you see this one, Rowan? Happy face. Do you think that's Daddy's? Does that look like Daddy's face? Which one do you think looks like Daddy's
Listen, mate,
face?
I knew you were happy.
Waiting.
Which one do we think is Daddy's face?
There.
You think that one's
that's
Daddy's
Daddy's
face? Now we stand this one and we have a look and see. Do we think, does that look like Daddy's face? It's a happy face. A scary face.
Is he used to seeing a happy face on you?
The big smile. Should we go and see?
Probably not as much as you should do.
Does that one
Yeah.
look like Daddy's face? Yes, that one looks like Daddy's face.
Yay!
Can we have a look now?
Well
Yay, what do
done.
we think
Okay.
it's like now?
I found it quite moving to see that that's the face that they associate with you. I mean, this is the face that is kind of predominant. Is this the face that's predominant in your?
Yeah, I
guess
guess
so.
so.
And it's how can we get this face? Because when you coaxed him around the garden, at first he was a bit kind of whoa, but by the end he was smiling, smiling, smiling. I think he wants to see happiness on your face, and it's how we can get happiness on your face. But I think it's going to take quite a long time to communicate it back into Rowan, because I think you still do an awful lot of this when you're talking to him and kind of holding, which is quite imposing. So much more kind of laid back, sort of hands off. You don't have to do the intense eye contact, but just sort of smiling, bigger voice. You're going to have to fake it, but I think when he starts smiling back, it'll start to warm your heart a bit. That, you see, that is what needs more of that. Okay. But it's a sad smile, sad eyes. So can you, every time you see him with the boys, hey, Daddy, and just really boot it up, and I'll be watching.
Yeah,
no problem. Right.
Boing, boing. What goes like that? What goes boing, 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 boing?
Cow.
A cow doesn't go boing, 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 boing. What about a rabbit? Flap, 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 flap.
How did the exercise with the Bogue family go?
As far as the planned exercise, it didn't go, but that tells so much about so many things in the family and the communication, particularly between Morton and his boys. Little Rowan ran over to a big picture of a very cross face and stood there and went, Daddy. Rowan, I think, needs a lot of stimulation, but I think he needs his father. Everybody's been telling me, and everybody says in the family, that Rowan is a mini version of Morton. Rowan and his dad have a real connection, but it's through a lot of negative, angry stuff. And I think in the situation we're seeing here, Morton is pouring so much love and stimulation into his son, and we're seeing a very happy, relaxed little boy. And I think this is what we need to do more of. But then how do you balance that against the needs of Dylan? That we need to work out.
It sounds like an almost impossible task.
I think because of Dylan's diagnosis of mild autism, and because he's the first, understandably, Morton and Amanda have really catered to his needs of calm, careful social interaction in a way that works for him. And they have done brilliantly with him. I think Rowan's lost out because of that. And I think a lot of Rowan's very angry, explosive, banging, crashing, shoes off, and all the stuff that we're hearing, for me, feels like a child who is stimulating themselves because there isn't a lot of other stimulation going on.
Do you feel better then about treating the Bogues? I mean, earlier on today you said that you were still sort of working them out, and it's Tuesday, and I know that must be frustrating for you. Do you feel a bit better the more information you're gleaning?
I do. I think it's a very softly, slowly approach with the Bogue family. Having been fairly confused about Amanda this morning, I stood next to her in the garden when I was saying to her husband, I think you're very sad, and I think this is very much what's going on. And I looked at her and I asked her what it felt like to be the one who always had to be happy in the family. And she looked exhausted and quite sad about it. I think there's so much sadness everywhere, and I think Amanda is doing what a lot of, in this case, women do, which is putting on a brave face. Let's all be happy. Let's not get Daddy cross. Let's everything be fine. And all that's doing is just increasing her husband's sense of despair and her children's sense of anguish, and so the bad behaviour. So it's untangling very gently everybody's roles and trying to make things emotionally more equal across everybody in the family.
It's Tuesday in the House of Tiny Tearaways, and time is running out for this week's troubled families. The Larkinson family have been sent on an outing up at their home life, being wrecked by Delphi and Rebecca's terrible tantrums and a time routine. Yesterday, Tanya confirmed the extent of Sarah's sleep deprivation, with Sarah and Larry worried scheduled for Sarah's dangerous epileptic fits. Amanda and Morton Bogues' 3-year-old son Rowan has pushed their family into great care. They're desperately looking to Tanya for help. Morton is looking as a role model for his sons, and Tanya is keen to improve his non-verbal communication and address his fear of showing his emotions. Kim Taylor is desperate for help controlling her daughter Letitia, whose violent tantrums have made her life a living nightmare.
Just don't know what to expect.
Tanya is concerned about the lack of emotional bonding in their relationship and has been encouraging positive play and attention. Still to come.
Do you think, oh my God, history's going to repeat itself?
It's early afternoon in the House of Tiny Tearaways, and Kim Taylor is spending some quiet time with daughter Letitia.
What's the matter? You come for a cuddle? Come here. What's wrong? What's wrong? How many fingers has Mummy got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what do they all do? Do they go and give big cuddles on Mummy's arms? And then tickle? And what if we tickle your toes?
What are your plans for the Taylors for the rest of the day? Kim, you asked her to do the rocking with her daughter, which, as far as I can tell, she's really done it and cuddled and lots of tickling, to the point where Connor has been sort of left alone.
Well, that's the point.
Okay.
That's the point. I mean, it is so important that Letitia gets a huge amount of attention, positive input, bonding type activity with her mum. Absolutely essential. However, I think I'm slightly more concerned about Connor than I am about Letitia now. I think Letitia, she's on track with her, but I think Connor, because he is a much more compliant child, will just sit on the sidelines and wait for the attention when it falls his way. I feel my task with Kim is to continue on with what we're doing, but to help her find a balance between these two children, because my concern is she'll go home and A, Letitia then won't be able to share her mother, and B, Connor will just withdraw and put his emotional needs to one side because he feels that's what he has to do to keep his mother happy.
What plans then do you have for them for the rest of today?
I'm going to set up a huge activity for them all to do. This is the Bogue family and the Taylor family, where they are going to do lots of fun communication, but really stir the kids up to work out when is it play and when does it go further and when do we intervene and then how do we intervene. So kind of tricky things. I mean, you've had a few children's birthday parties in your lifetime.
Yeah.
They are
Impossible,
stressful.
yeah.
Impossible and stressful. Kids get terribly aroused, stimulated and agitated. So we're trying to recreate that and to see when do you step in, when do you leave them to play, particularly for Morton, who polices the children so much.
Tanya has set the Larkin-Smith family on a rare day out, something Sarah and Larry are usually reluctant to do due to the behaviour of Rebecca and Delphi.
Well, on occasion it's taken us a good 20 minutes to leave the house, because of trying to ram dear Delphi into her seat. Before too long there'll be a fight.
They get fed up of each other's company and suddenly one will be pulling the other one's hair. And while we've been driving along, I've pulled Rebecca out of her car seat just to stop them fighting, with blood pouring down Delphi's face.
We've just got to be a little bit tougher. My little sassy girl.
The twins usually run rings around their parents when it comes to days out, but they're hoping today will be different.
Oh, look at the baby here, look.
Oh, he's on the table. Hello. Mabel, on the table. I think the newness of what we're all doing, the excitement, is causing them not to think about beating each other up for once and just enjoying where they've been. Oh, they're pigs, aren't they?
The girls have been little angels, which is what they can be a lot of the time. This is a turkey. He looks grumpy, a bit like Daddy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Duke. Bye-bye, pretty dear.
After a surprisingly pleasant day out with the girls, the issue of tonight's sleeping arrangements has to be discussed.
Now, are you okay about going off on your own
entirely,
tonight?
because I'm just worried about whether you're entirely okay with it.
Well, I am, because I did it when you were in hospital. 3 nights of looking after the kids. We'll be okay.
But you weren't doing the return technique and stuff.
Well, I know, but that's okay.
But you haven't been entirely okay about being in the house. So if you're okay with it, then it'll be fine. Then I'll appreciate the night's sleep.
Okay, well, you can sleep peacefully. I'll be all right, really.
Then it's time for Tanya to check in with Sarah and Larry.
Hello.
Sarah, hi, it's Tanya.
Hi.
How's your day going?
Oh, it's fine, thank you.
Everything's fine with the girls?
Yes.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you're having a nice day. No need for any buggy timeouts or anything then?
No, not at all.
Great, this is good.
I've just been so excited by everything.
So far.
Brilliant. Well, I'm glad you're having a good day. Just then, I won't interrupt anymore. Just a quick question for tonight. Have you made a decision about the way you want to run the sleep training?
Yeah, we'll do it as you said.
So you'll sleep in the quiet room and Larry will just go for it?
Yeah.
Tell him he's a star.
Okay.
Whilst the Lark and Smith
Amanda.
are out on their trip, Tom has given the remaining family an outdoor activity to do involving lots of paint, a giant canvas and snow brushes.
Don't squirt each other. No.
Where's your socks?
Got me off. The parents
Put it on there.
What should we do? Should we do, look?
Hand paint.
Stick your hands in and... That's right, Rowan, on here. Splodge.
Blah.
Well done.
Oh, look at that. It's dark green. That way.
Look at the big stick in the
Sliding. Hey, Picasso, for pride.
This one, but it's one.
Get your daddy.
No.
Can you get daddy? Everybody get on there. Jump on him. Get him with a pin.
Why do I get the feeling this isn't exactly what they meant by cooperation and painting?
Quick then, go get in there and we'll get a picture. We all going to stand.
Get a picture.
We're going to get one together. Quick, Letitia, get in.
Quick.
Move up to Connor.
This way.
In.
Say cheese.
Cheese.
The Lark and Smiths are back from their afternoon out, so while the rest of the families are sitting in the lounge, Tanya catches up with Dad Larry and Mum Sarah at the dining table.
First of all, your trip out was a fun-filled day. I was hoping for a little bit of action so I could see a little bit of parenting, but all we got was just the best family day out with lots of happiness emanating from everybody.
Absolutely.
Which lots of our days are, really.
Right.
The only days that we really have problems are when the days get really boring for them.
Right.
You know, so say we'd been shopping for a long time and they were getting bored with that. That's when things might get bad.
Okay, so we'll look at the behaviour more tomorrow. We are now then focusing on sleep. And you're still happy to go with the plan?
Absolutely. I'm a bit
Super
shattered today for some reason. I mean, last night was a bit rough.
Yeah,
all
yeah,
of us, and I just feel dosified.
Do you want to change that? Would you...
I'm going to sleep now.
Okay, so you're...
No, I'll have a go.
Yes.
Our plan is to both of us do the first section.
Just
we'll
split
both bath them.
Yes, and all that stuff.
But Larry will keep taking them back to bed if they keep getting
in exactly
up.
the same way, saying nothing, doing nothing,
But without
in
you sitting
and out. Okay, and then in the night, you'll go to bed in the quiet room and you'll give it a go.
Yeah.
So
That's fine.
Can I take
honestly.
the walkie-talkie in there? And every so often if I wake up and go, wonder if everything's quiet, can I tune in just to
Are
see
you
if it's quiet?
doubting your husband's ability just to manage the situation for himself and call you if he needs help?
No, it's just I just know that at some point I'll probably wake up and just be wondering, and if I could just turn it on and just hear quiet, I'd just go back to sleep again.
Well, maybe that's an idea, but I did run the house for 3 days.
I know, but
When
we
you were
weren't doing a
in
system
hospital.
then.
That'd be horrible to them, but just firm and robotic.
And say nothing and
But
just
give the monkey to Delphi though.
Sarah, I think you've got to let Larry just
No, I mean, come on, they both
do
have
this
monkeys.
himself. Do you think?
They both have
You're
monkeys.
obviously very anxious, aren't you?
A bit. When I was putting Delphi back to bed last night, towards the end, when she did eventually settle, she was hugging the monkey more towards the bit where she was going to settle down and go to sleep. So I'm only just passing on
information.
No, I'll make sure she has the monkey.
You know.
So you can have sort of chat beforehand. So honestly, this isn't about putting anybody in jeopardy or setting you up to fail or anything. It's just about exploring
No,
new
quite,
ways.
absolutely,
And if you get a good night's sleep tonight, which is why I don't really want you to have the walkie, if you have a good night's sleep tonight, then tomorrow you will be more energised to go for it yourself tomorrow, because we need you to practice this as well. So for me, this is also just getting the sleep back into you, which you need. Okay?
Yeah.
This is all about us trying new things here so that by Friday we know exactly what needs to happen when you go home. And so tonight we'll do this, tomorrow night we'll try, and then
Yep, absolutely.
it'll be sorted. But we are really on the path. I feel really good about the progress.
Good. Okay, we're confident.
Yeah.
I kind of think like we've not quite got there yet. Although Rowan's little outburst today was good for me to see, and it was good for me to see how you both managed it. And there was lots of really good things you did, and you know, it's very interesting to me.
What did you do that for?
What did he do? Oh, did he?
Slap them across the head.
Are you going to do? What's the consequence? Is that going to be something?
Rowan.
Should he have some kind of consequence for doing that? Do you want to time him out?
Dylan.
I just
Mummy's
go
gonna
take him
do
and
this.
do it. And say as little as possible, and just say you do not hit your brother and time him out.
You are not allowed. Dylan, you are not allowed to hit your brother. So you're going to come with me for a couple of minutes. Right.
Okay, let's chat and just look a little bit more cross. What I'm noticing, Morton, is that when you are cross, it's exactly the same as when you're happy, when you're sad. There's no differentiation. And I think that's because you have the issues with anger, and I wonder whether you're frightened that you're going to lose it. But I actually think he needs to know. He may have a diagnosis of mild autism, but it doesn't mean to say that he should slap his brother.
Yeah.
And he needs to know. What I saw there was I mean, he knows he's done wrong. Yeah. You see, you look quite afraid, really. I think your anger makes you feel afraid, doesn't it?
Sometimes.
Because
I just know what I'm like when I lose my temper, and that's, I suppose, a part of me I don't really like, and I don't lose it all the time, but I don't like it to happen.
right,
So
he's timed himself out. He knows he's done wrong.
He usually does that.
Yeah. So, how bad does it get when you're angry?
I suppose when I was a teenager, I would have basically trashed the whole bedroom.
You got so angry that you would trash your bedroom?
Yeah.
What's the worst thing that ever happened when you were angry?
I suppose it would have been when I was in care. I trashed the bedroom, wardrobes, basically everything, and I was actually sent to, I suppose it would be actually a young offenders unit called Rathgale.
Oh, I know that,
So
yeah.
that's, I ended up there for about 2 or 3 weeks.
And that's not nice?
I could always have been worse, but I mean, it was, I suppose, pretty much, that's pretty much a prison for like 18.
Yeah, let's just send him out to play. Sweetie Pie, let's go and see what Mummy's doing. Mummy's, come and see out here. Where's Mummy? Should we go and find Mummy? All right then, see you later. Bye. Can we just go back there, because I'm quite interested in this. When you were a 12, 13-year-old who was showing a lot of behaviour, it sounds to me that rather than going to a place where people could understand you and help you think about why you felt angry and help you move on from that, you were kind of just chucked out with the rubbish, weren't you? You were just kind of put to one side. What triggered off you trashing your bedroom? Can you remember?
I can't. I don't know. I suppose obviously at the time it must have seemed pretty important, but...
Yeah. And I suspect that you kind of went into a sort of red mist. Just the anger came down and you just went completely bonkers.
I think that's why I can understand with Rowan, is that you almost just become a completely different person, and afterwards it's like, and you do literally that. I do literally feel you just become two completely different people, and
But that must be very scary to experience for you.
It's like I'm there. It's still me, but looking from the inside out or the outside in.
Kind of like you're sitting on the ceiling watching it happen.
Yeah, I suppose.
you go into what I would call, and we can talk about this more and I can help you understand it, when you feel really, really angry, you go into a dissociative state. In other words, you dissociate from yourself. You kind of separate, and it's like you're with yourself, but you're apart from yourself and you're watching what's happening. You split the anger off. I'm not surprised you're afraid of getting angry with your kids, because you don't want to hurt them, do you? You just don't want to hurt them. And I can completely understand why you will do everything you can just to shut down, because you're so frightened that if you get in touch with that anger, you could go too far and maybe really hurt them. And you don't want to do that. You don't want your kids to know what that feels like. Is that right?
Yeah.
You're doing everything you can to protect your boys from feeling the fear and the pain that you felt. Because it sounds to me that you're saying, actually, you don't really know if you really understand the emotion anger in a way other than it being frightening and destructive. And so you see your little Rowan, who everybody says looks like you and is you, and you see him go into his big old tantrums and you flip out and you become very anxious because you think, oh my God, history's going to repeat itself. Are you hearing me blame you for Rowan's problems?
Not blaming me as in, it's like all your fault. More blame as in, I am partly responsible because it's my job. Well, I suppose me and Amanda's job to teach him things in life, and I suppose what we thought we were doing was making sure he knows right from wrong and make sure he does do the right thing, he knows what the right thing is. So, yes, I suppose if it's like, if I'm being blamed and I feel that way, it's more like, like I said, it's not all my fault, but me as parents should be teaching him these things, but I suppose how can I teach him if I don't know?
Yourself.
Yeah.
I wonder whether we need to do a lot of more positive interaction, and boy, have you been working hard today, and I think you're fantastic. I think you are fantastic, and when you're with your son, I cannot tell you the way he looks at you. He couldn't love you any more than he does. He looks to you for so much, and I think your input in this is absolutely key. And bizarrely, I think it would be if he saw you getting cross sometimes, and then saw you feeling happy and saw the contrast, he would learn so much from you. That would enable him in his life to not end up smashing things up and hurting things. Would you think about that? Yeah. Okay. I'll let you have some time out. See you later. Okay. That's okay. Hello, honey.
You know that, don't you? I do. And I'm very proud of you. And you're a big Irish hunk. Just gotta get you down the aisle next. So I'll be really proud of you then.
Last night, Delphi and Rebecca Larkin-Smith were returned to bed a total of 40 times by Mum Sarah before they finally got to sleep at 1 a.m. To Tonight, as agreed, Larry is taking control of bedtime, while sleep-deprived Sarah stays in the kitchen.
Bye-bye, tiny monkey.
That's Daddy.
In the Bogues room, Dad Morton is organising bedtime for his 3 boys.
Oh, back off. Back off. Rowan. What's broken? The plug. No, we're not going in the bath. You haven't long had a bath. Okay? We'll brush your teeth and you can have a bath in the morning. How's that? Is that okay? What's the matter? You're tired. You want to go to bed, don't you, monkey? Uh-huh. Oh, well, you don't... Right, 2 ticks. There you go, Arlie. What?
Meanwhile, in the tailor's room, Kim is putting into practice the affectionate approach that Tanya suggested she use with Letitia.
I'm tired. I'll go to sleep. Come on, where's your doll?
Cool in here.
Once all the children are asleep, Tanya decides she needs to talk to the Bogues as a couple.
Put a flied up because I've been really good today.
You have been really good today, haven't you? Haven't you? I just wanted to check how you both were at the end of today, because kind of quite unexpectedly we had quite an intense chat, which was extraordinary. You have the most honest and brave partner. So I just wanted to check that you were ending the day feeling okay, really, because I've observed something really interesting since that chat, that you feel much lighter. It's almost like you look much happier, although we spoke about some really difficult stuff.
I suppose, yes, I did feel a lot happier, a lot lighter, not as... But I think it'll probably take a few days probably for it all to sink in properly.
Do you feel kind of slightly amazed that we've sat and talked about stuff that you've tried to lock away and not really think about because it has been so painful, and yet somehow talking about it, having a bit of a cry about it, has somehow freed you up rather than weighed you down?
I suppose I was quite sort of amazed that we did sort of sit and talk about it, and I suppose in some depth, and so just, I suppose it's a bit strange, that's all, because I don't tend to talk to you. I tend to be quite...
I mean, I've been
kind of saying to Morton for a long time to sort of try to talk to somebody, but I think because Morton maybe hasn't had like sort of positive sort of like effects and that from, you know, maybe speaking to counsellors and stuff in the past, he's always been a bit kind of, you know, like negative about doing it. He probably wouldn't have as much anger if he was more open about stuff, because then he wouldn't be carrying that weight around inside, and if he could release it by, because I've seen Morton cry more in this house this week than I've ever seen in the 6.5 years I've been with him.
Really?
Yeah, I've only ever seen him cry twice ever the whole time I've sort of been together.
We talked a lot about anger and how important it is for children to experience and see anger and then see how it can be resolved, and in a way to try and stop yourself being angry for reasons we know why, because of your fear of going over the top or doing things that it may hurt the children or whatever. You've actually stopped them in any reasonable way seeing that emotion, and possibly that's why particularly Rowan doesn't really know what to do with his anger when it comes, so it just goes bang. But another thing that I found moved you every single time I said it was when I kept saying to you how incredibly your sons love you. Your boys bloom like flowers when you are just letting your guard down. And there was a bit of today where I saw it really fantastically, and I just wanted to show it to you before we ended the day, because I wanted the day to finish with something really positive for you. Because I think part of the issues for you with your self-esteem is that you find it hard to believe that you're a good father. And I think your kids are telling you, but I'm not sure whether you're seeing it. So I just wanted you to see it, if you don't mind. Is that all right?
You coming? Look, slide.
Get your daddy.
Why do I get the feeling this isn't exactly what they meant by cooperation and painting?
Did you see the way your boys looked at you? What were their faces saying?
That they love me and...
That's right. And they just love having fun with you, and they love experiencing your emotion. I want you to end the day, the last image in your head really, if possible, when you go to sleep, is of those two little boys standing in front of you, rubbing paint in your face, and just having the time of their life. That was the best moment of their day.
Next time on the House of Tiny Tearaways.
You don't think your boys are proud of you?
No.